Okay, I admit it. I had a fairly healthy Pokemon Go habit going for a while. In fact, the day that Pokemon Go was available in Japan, I downloaded it in an instant and I played it solid for a year until my little girl was born. And if you know anything about my family, my life, my little girl being born changed absolutely everything, including my Pokemon Go habit. But I am still a little bit tied to the little Poke guys, about the little pocket monsters. I still have a little affection for them. So when I saw that Adidas were bringing out an 8-bit Pikachu model, I thought, I just definitely have to do that. I have to review that for the channel. So my latent Pokemon Go habit, can we call it addiction? And we would together like to bring you a review of the 8-bit Pikachu Adidas Advantage. This is a Tokyo Bar 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo Bar 23 sneaker channel です。毎日アップするので、毎日見てください。Every single day I bring you content from Tokyo, Japan about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews. And today is no different as we look at Adidas sneakers, the Adidas Advantage 8-bit Pikachu, and I am happy to bring this to you. I'm also happy to just drop a little name in there. I wonder how I could drop this name. You know what I'll do is, instead of saying the name, I'll say fourth floor worker. So this is to you, fourth floor worker, because I know you like your Adidas brands and wear this kind of sneaker. I don't know if you like Pokemon, so if you do, it's doubly to you. But I don't want to use your real name because I know people are sensitive with that. So fourth floor worker, to you. We're going to bring you this 8-bit Pikachu sneaker. Now there are some really interesting things on here. There's even something hidden in the sneaker. It took me a while to find this because I just could not find comment of it anywhere. So it took a while for me to track down and find out what exactly was hidden on this sneaker under the tongue, and I'll be bringing you that today just as soon as I've done that very fast thing that I have to do at the start of videos, which is ask you to subscribe. Hitting the subscribe button is tremendously helpful. Hitting the like button is also helpful too, so please don't forget to hit the like button. Writing a comment to me and Pikachu down below would be very much appreciated, and sharing this thing on social media is an absolute piece of gold for us, so please do share this video. And as I am here in Tokyo, Japan, I do say at the start of every one of my videos, 登録よろしくお願いします。いいねもクリックすると助かるので、ぜひいいねクリックしてください。日本語のコメント書くと日本語の返事を頑張ります。あとは、ソーシャルメディアにシェアするとシェアしてください。よろしくお願いします。So let's have a look at this, the Adidas Advantage sneaker. Now the first thing I thought of when I looked at these guys was the 3-stripe branding down the side, which isn't a stripe. They're 3 dots, dotted lines or whatever you want to call them. And I did see, I think it was a pair of Advantages that they were coming out with where one of those lines was in hearts. And it was a similar looking sneaker to this, just all white upper with that heart motif in the 3-stripe branding on the side. So instantly I thought of those guys when I saw these guys coming out. But that's pretty much where any comparison to other Adidas sneakers ends. Any character, any piece of uniqueness that you can build into the sneaker is given to the Pokemon line. So the toe box and the ladder on the medial sides are very simple, all white, one leather, there's nothing major going on there. But the back half of the sneaker, there are 4, no less than 4 places, one of them hidden under the tongue, where you've got that Pokemon stuff going on. And I'm going to start with the main feature on the side, which is at the back of these guys, you've got an 8-bit Pikachu motif on there, and I don't like it. Sorry, I don't like it. I think it's too big. The thing about the 8-bit pixelated characters is that when they're small enough or you see them from far enough away, they look like what they're supposed to look like. But when you get close to them, you realize it's all squared and pixelated and stuff. But the thing is that this Pikachu is so big that it's just so obviously pixelated. Do you know what I mean? And the second place that we want to look at is on the inside, the lining of the sneaker, where you have a bunch of other Pokemon in their 8-bit configurations. They all look like the way I'd imagine they should look. They're kind of enough of a shape there to work out which Pokemon it is, but without being too detailed that you kind of get sort of hung up on the pixelation, but you look at that 8-bit pixelated Pikachu on the outside, and I'm just not that big a fan of it because it's so big. It's a little bit too big for what it should be. I think they could have made it smaller. And another thing about it is how much of a light brown tan color it is instead of that bright yellow that we've come to associate Pikachu with. I don't know what it should be. I can only go off of Pokemon Go. Before Pokemon Go, I didn't play Pokemonsters at all. Pokemon at all. Not at all. No Nintendo, nothing. The only experience I have of Pokemon is Pokemon Go. And in Pokemon Go, Pikachu is very yellow, not brown. So I was kind of like, why is he brown? But maybe that's his original colorway from the original sort of Nintendo lines. What were they called now? Nintendo 64? Was that what they called it? The Nintendo 64 and stuff like that, which is when this pixelated Pikachu would have been from. Also, though, we've got that lining on there that we already talked about, but if we look at the top of the tongue first and foremost, you can see that it's got a nice big splash of Pokemon underneath the Adidas branded on there. So very much the back third of the sneaker, the tongue tag, the lateral and medial sides with the Pikachu, pixelated Pikachu at 8-bit there, and the lining on the sneaker itself all have that Pokemon feature on there, and that Pokemon branding. And then first thing is what I'll do is I'll turn these guys around and I'll show you what I saw which got me going. So right here, you should be able to see an angle looking into the sneaker where you can see behind the tongue. It's like, ooh, there's something there, but what is it? You can't quite tell. So I had to do a bit of digging, a bit of looking around to find out what it was, and I found this picture, and it's like, yo, it's a Pokeball. How cool is that? I just loved it. I was like, yes, correct, very right, Adidas, very right, Nintendo. This is exactly what you should be doing with this kind of sneaker, hiding a little Pokeball underneath the tongue there, almost as a gift to the buyer, something to surprise. You've already got Pokemon on the outside of the tongue, you've already got Pikachu on the heel, you've already got that lining and 8-bit Pokemon characters, multiple Pokemon characters, and then just as an extra little added surprise, a Pokeball underneath the tongue on the inside where you can't really see it. Absolutely yes, I think this is very much a great Pokemon sneaker. I think people are going to love this if they're into their Pokemon. There was something that dropped earlier in this year. I think it might have been the Batman, what are they called now? The name Converse, the Batman Converse. I'll put a link to them there. There were 3 different ones or 4 different ones in this pack to celebrate 80 years of Batman. And my conclusion of that sneaker was that you would look at it and put it back on the shelf. You'd be interested in it, oh, that's interesting, but you wouldn't buy it, you put it back on the shelf. And it's kind of the same with these. Only people who are interested are going to buy these. I don't think there's going to be any crossover appeal. I don't think people who are not interested in Pokemon will be like, oh, that's cool, I'll buy that. You know how sometimes that happens, that something that's a collaboration has that crossover appeal, and I don't see that happening with these 8-bit Pikachu Adidas Advantage sneakers. I don't think they're going to be able to cross over to lifestyle or cross over to non-Pokemon people. Pokemon people will probably go wild for them. I also don't know if they're part of a larger release, but for me, what I'm feeling is like the hype of Pokemon Go, which is 2.5 years old now, has passed, and Pokemon is now moving into like, let's be an established player instead of like a spike, a one-off, which is what Pokemon Go kind of could have been. I think what they're doing is they're moving Pokemon back into that established player market instead of being a one-off market or a gimmick market. And that's what these shoes represent for me, is that the Pokemon brand and Nintendo are bringing Pokemon back to mainstream in the same way like the Marvel universe is kind of a constant. It's not like a one-off or a rare thing. I think that's what they're going to do with Pokemon, is bring it back to be a regular feature in our market, in games, in toys, in digital media, in fashion, things like that. So to me, this marks the moment when Nintendo, Pokemon are bringing their brand and their line more into that kind of common consciousness and not just that specialized sort of gamers only world. So an interesting sneaker. As a former Pokemon goer, I'm interested in it. I probably won't be copying it. Again, I'll be like picking it off the shelf, looking at it and going, oh, that's cool, and then putting it back again, just like those Batmans. But a cool sneaker nonetheless. And if this is your thing, it would be pretty cool to go running around playing Pokemon Go in a pair of Pokemon sneakers. I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to go catch yourself. I said when I researched this, the lining, I said there was a time when I could have named those Pokemon, but not anymore. And I can't think of a single Pokemon name other than Pikachu. To sign off this video with. So I'll just finish it up there. Thank you guys for checking out my content. I'm trying to drop double content right now because I've got a bit of time to put in the extra work, and also because I don't want like sneakers to pass me by. So this will be an extra 7 a.m. drop on the channel. So if you're looking for those hints for butter movement, playing that butter movement game, that'll come in the 7 p.m. drop. But this one here is going to be a 7 a.m. drop for a little bit of extra coverage, a little bit of extra from Tokyo Butter 23 to get you through your sneaker week. For now though, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content. I truly appreciate it. I appreciate all those subscribes and likes and comments and sharing this thing on social media. If you've got a Pokemon group out there, go ahead and share this with them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it, and I know that I'll appreciate it too. For now though, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content, and because I do this every single day, you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.